All right. I'm gonna tighten all these damn screws up. There we go. Hello, my babies. Baby, it's looking alright. Nice. Come believe in the sky. Morning. Wow, that's really dark. I wonder if I can turn this off. Baby, speaking the right. All right, there we go. So the piece that I worked on the other day, it's super early in the morning for me. I just got off work a little while ago, though. I work nights. Baby, this is the piece I worked on yesterday. I'm almost completely finished with it. Just got a couple more little spots to do. I need to do like a tiny bit. It's mostly done though. Kind of turned out pretty cool. I like it. Where do you live, Chris? Was it? What's going on here? I've got a drawing I'm working on. I may do for a coloring book page, but I'm not sure yet. Put a little bit of gloss varnish on here. Let's see. Gotta move this out of the way. I need to put some gloss varnish on this actually. So I'll put that right there. While I have this out. Don't do that. Stickers don't even go in this, they go in here. All right. Tapping it out so it doesn't blend. When it dries, it's clear, so that's fine. So give a little bit more depth to it. There's just a couple of places that have the gloss finish. This is a very matte finish. I also have another project I need to work on that is actually going to be a shadow box project. On this again, it's dried a little bit, so I'm gonna go the other direction. I'll be using the rest of it. Okay, that dry. This is a whole lot busier than I usually work with my mixed media. Hey, Hyper Kitten, how you doing? I'm alright, just adjusting to life as a parent, I guess. Other than that, I don't know. I don't like this song. Yeah. Not complaining. It's just different. All right, I'm gonna let that be for a minute. Play with this drawing a little bit. Oops. So I've been working on this kind of concept here, and it's probably kind of hard to see. Let me turn the light down a little. Where I'm trying to kind of, I don't know, do some of my same stuff, but also change it a little bit for my coloring book things. I need to twist this real quick. Let's go let that sit for a bit. Make it so you can see it a little better. Zoom in. Got this kind of weird bulbous animal plant thing coming through. Now, this is on tracing paper, so it's going to be transferred to my good paper, and then I'll ink it. But right now I'm just kind of working on a concept. I really want to have like a piece of like skin kind of floating through almost. Like something really jagged and maybe connected to this. And also this. So this is like a rope that's holding things taut. Maybe like a hook there, because I've got hooks, like skin hooks here. Maybe like that. I wanted to come in front of this, but not, let's see. Let's do it this way. I have videos to edit and videos to upload. I've been a little bit discouraged with the video stuff, even though like I feel like it's my better work as far as like what I've been doing content wise. It's just kind of hard when I know it, you know, because of my issues with I don't get any views, and that's okay. I don't really care so much about that. It's just hard to stay motivated right now with everything that's going on. Honestly, part of it is this, like, every day my mom, like, contacts me and, like, so, like, she, like, contacts me and then attacks me, like, every single day. And it's at the point now where I just kind of am practically shutting down, because I can't get anything done. Like, I was playing a game the other night and they decided to like play some Jackbox games, and like just having my phone in front of me meant I had to look at like 1,400 like, you know, crazy messages from her that were like accusing me of turning my sister against her, which I didn't do. Her talking about dying, you know, just being like super dramatic about my grandpa dying alone and how like she did all these things for him and she misses him, like out of nowhere. And like her paranoia is just getting like super out of control. And like, it's just wearing me out. Like I'm doing everything I can to like, well, I mean, first of all, stay sober. Cause like I've, you know, been drinking a little bit here and there, but like with my sister around, I don't want to like, you know, be drinking like every day or whatever. I have been just trying to keep up too. Like my sister's got so much shit going on. Like she's not just like out of school right now. Like she's got summer school. She's got, you know, shit going on that she's got dealing with, some, you know, sexual identity issues that my mom isn't very nice about, things like that. My mom like laughed because I called her what she likes to be called. Like my mom laughed about that, and like I know that was like that kind of thing is like super painful. I know because I went through, you know, not that exact same thing, but you know, very similar things with both my parents. But I'm trying like really hard, like really, really, really hard. And the thing is, that's like, I have been drinking, but at the same time, like I'm not drinking like when I'm dealing with stuff for her. I've just been drinking like, you know, like when I stream or whatever. My biggest thing is like my dreams are just insane lately. Like I can't sleep without these like terrible anxiety dreams. These anxiety dreams about animals dying or being, you know, stuck in a situation I can't get out of, or, you know, violence. And like these are the kind of dreams that I used to have when I was in like a super bad relationship with somebody who was, you know, really abusive. And like my mom literally invited herself tonight to come to Dave & Buster's with us. Like I told my mom we were going to come visit her, and then I said that we were going afterward, that we were going to go to Dave & Buster's, you know, which is an arcade. And keep in mind, my mom can't walk, so like she's like, oh, well, you guys are going to go somewhere fun. Why don't I just come there? And like, I was trying to explain to her that we had something to do. And like, she took it upon herself to decide that she should come. And like, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't mind, but like, she's been crazy, like absolutely nuts the past few days. Like literally just been driving me crazy. Let's bring that in. I mean, as far as setting a good example goes, I feel like, for the most part, I feel like that's fine. Like, it's happening because, like, it's just been a really, like, I've been trying to go out of my way to make sure that whatever I talk to her about, like, that I'm living that truth as well. So, like, you know, if I talk about, you know, cleaning up and keeping our room clean and, like, things of that, like that, like, I'm trying to do that too. Or, like, you know, even just, like, keeping track of appointments and stuff. And, you know, like, that's one of the reasons I was doing the journal, the bullet journal, because I wanted her to, like, have, because, like, I don't know if you know what Trello is, but I use Trello because it's easy and I have it online and I can just, you know, access it whenever, and there's a fucking app and I can use it. But, like, even though I had Trello, like, it wasn't getting used. Like, she wasn't using it, even though I made her one. And so I was like, well, maybe if we both have a bullet journal and it's like something creative that she can do, but also like that I can do it too, and so that we have something together that we're working on. And so we're doing that, even though it's like a redundancy for me because I'm doing that stuff on Trello, but it's helpful, I feel like, because like even today, like I started adding stuff to my journal and she immediately like started copying the stuff to her journal that we needed to do. And like she started making a plan for what she's going to wear to Florida and stuff. And like this is stuff she'd never had to do before because she's never been allowed to be responsible for her own things. And I mean, she's almost 16. Like, she's almost 16 years old, and my mom has never let her have control of anything in her life. Like, she's never, you know, had to keep track of when she needs to go to the doctor or, you know, Planned Parenthood or whatever. She's never had to, you know, be reminded. She's had to be reminded every day to take her pills and, like, things like that. Like, she, you know, wasn't, I don't know. It's weird because she's had to be, like, really independent in some ways. Like, you know, with my mom, like, not really feeding her, she had to, you know, feed herself many times. But I don't know, when it's so hard to explain. I feel like I should darken this up, but I'm gonna do that when I do the transfer to like regular paper. It's gonna be really hard to see though. I have this thing about, like, I always draw too light because I'm so used to like drawing on regular paper. I won't be able to see anything. Oh, if your heart's like fire. Oh, let the flames go. Hey, Sir Dudenheim, Mr. Loon. Your heart's like fire. Oh, the flames grow higher. You can see it a little better now, I think. Your heart like fire. It's like fire. Sing, oh, let the flames grow higher. Ooh, this song I had in one of my dreams. This one, not the one before it. Yeah. I'm just trying to, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to help her because, like, she's actually, in some ways, she's, like, way ahead of where I was when I was 15. I was still living in fucking La La Land when I was 15. You know, the thought of, like, having sex was, like, it grossed me out. Like, I wasn't into it. I was just really focused on, like, music and creativity and, like, trying to get away from my mom. Like, that's, like, the number one thing I was going through when I was her age. And, like, she's got, like, the special school she's going to, and she's got to keep her grades up and, like, all this other stuff that, like, I didn't really have to deal with when I was, like, her age, because, like, I had grade stuff, but grade stuff was super easy in Indiana when I got here. I didn't even have to try, so. But I also, like, you know, she's going to a specialty school, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. She's really smart, so that's good. And, like, she and I have a very similar sense of humor. In fact, I think, like, we share the same type of memes and stuff even. It's to the point where Brian can't even understand us half the time. I didn't necessarily think sex was gross. Like, I was into it if it was, like, may have been, like, a few certain people. But honestly, I was more worried about just, like, either killing myself, which, you know, shit was really bad with my mom back then, or, you know, running away. I got engaged when I was her age, or, like, just a little bit older, to, like, a guy that, you know, it was dumb. It was a stupid thing. But I was, you know, anything for, like, the possibility of, like, getting out of my life like it was. And, like, that's what you did back then. You know, you got engaged to somebody who was going to go into the military. That's what you did where I lived. Owen Sound? What does that mean? Is that a place? Let's fix this a little bit better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was boy crazy when I was that age, but it wasn't sex I was after. I just wanted to be around, you know, boys. There were rumors, of course, you know, like guys do. The guy that I dated told people that, you know, we did things that we didn't. I was talking. You missed it because you left the room. All right, so let's see. From there, what? These like crystal things. That would be any addition, a little bit more geometric than I usually do, I guess. I thought about having them like stabbing into these things, but then I decided to change it to like just like background or foreground. Let's bring this guy down here. Question. So there've been a few of these now that I've done where things are entangled. But the question here is, who is the real abuser in this situation? Is it this? Is it these hooks? Whatever's holding onto these hooks? Or is it this? That's the question. Sometimes it's hard to tell. What is attacking you? Or is there an abuser? Is it cohesive? Or is it parasitic? Which things feel pain? That's the question. Who's in charge? Who's in charge of this torture? Maybe it's not torture. Maybe it's a contract. It's hard to say. But I think I'm ready for part 2. Let me get my good paper. My ink. I think I have most of the concepts. Let me make sure there's like not anything else I want to add. Maybe a little more, like one more big thing. Darken up these lines a little bit. The last piece that I worked on is not completely finished, that I inked up. I'm trying to, I don't know, broaden my horizons, I guess. But I'm not really doing that. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I got information back about the game stuff. He really likes just the plain praying mantis, and then I find out the game is actually about, like, robotic insects. And I'm like, damn, I could have been making robot insects this whole time? That's, like, my whole fucking thing is organics mechanics. Like, that's my entire thing. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you paying attention? And I sent him to my vlog. And I'm like, I can draw you a fucking praying mantis, but I could draw you a robot praying mantis way better. Alright, so let's see. Do I want to put something here? Partially here. Let's see. Let's do... I'm gonna look through my other ones real quick, just to get a feeling. I'm using my circles a lot, which I can always go back to, but you know how that is. I don't want to do exactly the same thing. So, like, see here. So this one's like super organic. I could add a few of those elements, which I may do. This one actually is too. So this one, we definitely have like a master-slave situation. There's no part of this monster that is in love with this. It's just part of it and it can't escape. If that makes sense. But I mean, it does love it because it has to. It's like, you know, it's like Stockholm Syndrome. And in this situation, there's no way to delineate. And nothing looks like, everything looks cohesive in this one. Nothing looks like it's being hurt or harassed. It's just there. So, the other one that I'm working on, let me see if I can find it. Come here, you. Where are you? So this one I was working on, I was making it more decorative, but I've got like these just loops, and it's like a snake. I didn't like the way that this was going. I didn't mind the design, I just didn't like the way that it was going. So I need more big pieces, I feel like, if I'm going to do the same style. Look at that. So central pieces here. Don't actually have like a central theme. Ow. Ow. Tell my sister all the time, I'm like, where did these bruises? So I like always go to the beach and look at this. I go to the beach and then like I've got these like bruises that come out of nowhere, or like not the beach, but the pool. And like I get these bruises that just come out of nowhere. And I'm like, how did I get a bruise? And then just now I like ran into my chair and my desk because I'm sitting weird. Now I've probably got a bruise both places. Also, the cords to this I need to find. Because I took them with me to Colossal, and now I can't find them, which is weird because I had all of them together. I've been moderating this group on Facebook. It's called We Are All God's Children, and He Left Us in a Hot Car. And it's a pretty good group, but like right now there are close to 30,000 people in it. And it's weird because like I thought that like my regular job was pretty stressful, but like actually moderating that group is really stressful because so many people like write in there with like really serious problems. And so we end up like, you know, letting people do that and then giving them advice. And it's so weird because like people feel so comfortable like posting all this like super personal information in these groups because they're closed. But like there are 30,000 people in that group. Like somebody that's in that group might actually know, you know, who you're talking about, you know, or what you're talking about. But they do it anyway. And it's interesting to me because it's like, it reminds me of when I first started camming and like people weren't scared to like use names and stuff because nobody ever thought about the fact that like everybody on the internet could like find you. It's very odd. But it's also like, it's kind of heartwarming because like, you know, a lot of people come out to help people. And we had somebody the other day that like couldn't get their meds. And not only did everybody, like people like send them help with money, but like people also gave them really good resources. I mean, of course, you know, like I told them about like things like Lily Cares and stuff where, you know, if you don't have your meds and you happen to need, you know, something, that's something you can do. But it's really interesting to see like that kind of community come out of just like, it's literally a shit posting group. I mean, it's just us, you know, sharing shitty memes of things that have, you know, people have done or whatever. So I think I like this concept of like this. It's hard to kind of see it. You can see it a little better if I get closer. It's like this like bulbous kind of thing, like an egg sac or something. I've really been wanting to finish my vlogs. One of the reasons that I haven't is because I feel like things have been going so crazy lately that I will just give too much information in my vlogs. Because like if I do it here, it's one thing, but it's another thing if like I have it on my vlog and like it's super easy to find, you know. And I'm like talking about something, you know, maybe that my mom did. I don't know. Maybe I'm worried I'm going to start like yelling and screaming and people aren't going to be calmed down anymore. I try to make those to like be chill, even if they're talking about bad stuff, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it's like, it's not really memes that are posted to the group. It's more like, it's like cursed images and stuff. I mean, it's more that than like memes, if that makes sense. Like there are memes. Like what we did was like people kept posting like, we had to like make it so that like every day there's a theme. So like, you know, one day is selfie day and people post like, you know, lewds or whatever. And then one day is like, you know, pet day and people post pictures of their pets. And then one day is cursed images day and people post cursed images. Like, and one day is meme day and people actually post memes. And like every time I always like ask what a meme is and like I make a joke and like nobody ever gets it and they get mad at me. I just post like, sometimes I post memes that I make there, but for the most part, I just post cursed images, or like articles that I found. What I've found is that a lot of stuff that I get from like Reddit and stuff that I pull for my own curation, I often find there a few days later, and I just like don't post it there because I figure somebody will, just so they can like have content, because I don't need to like post everything there all the time. But yeah, it's like it's actually a pretty good group. We have a lot of like kind of strict rules though. Like it's very much like, you know, don't shit on sex work, don't, you know, shit on trans people, don't, you know, don't do any of that shit. Like our rules are pretty strict about that. And that's one of the reasons that like moderation's kind of rough, because like it is one of the stricter Facebook's like groups, but people don't realize that when they join, even though like we have like a thing that's like, are you going to put a content warning if somebody asks you to? And they say yes, and then we like let them in the group, and then they like are shitty. I had to ban somebody tonight because they were just being an asshole. Like we don't do things like, you know, we don't allow people to like make fun of how people look and things like that. So like if somebody comes in and they post something and it's shitty because of something they did, but then if somebody comes in and they're like, oh, that girl's fat, then like we have to deal with that. Like that's like kind of how it goes. But I've made like 10 different groups that are literally all shit posting. I have one called Okie Dokie Fucking Choke Me. I have one called Piss on Yourself All You Want, Just Don't Call It Medicine. Please don't put your butthole on that. One called What If Nah. One called If I Knew You Were a Mod, I Wouldn't Have Shown You My Ass. One called Shared Unironically. One called Oops, the hatchback opened up and you fell out, that I specifically used for booting people out of the group. One called 5-minute craft shit posting. One called Live, Laugh, and Shove People Out of the Car. And then one called And Very Few Humans Survived That, Spectacularly Hot Take. Right now, I think the 5-minute craft shit posting is doing the best for like random shit. You want to see the meme I made today? I don't know if you're up on your memes, but I made this one today. So I actually do make memes like pretty regularly, but people, they're all stupid. They're all really stupid. That's why I don't put them. I don't like post them to normal places. I just post them to Imgur or whatever. Or I post them to Reddit, to me IRL, which is where like all the memes, like pretty much every meme you see comes from there. But I only post to there because I don't know. Cause like they're always meta. I don't know. Here's the one I made today. It's really stupid. Bum, 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 bum. And it's like a meta meme because it's based on a different meme or two. So it's like not really funny to anybody but the people in that subreddit. So whatever. What if up here? What if I have some like floaties? If they're just floating, like hanging out. Some circles. And then it can like break up that, yeah, that space right there. Bum, 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 bum. Baby girl. I'm probably older than you. Don't even do that. Baby girl. Call me baby girl. I'm not ABDL, honey. Or what is it? DDLG? I'm not into that shit. My name's Belinda. You can call me that. Like, that joke's probably not, like, it's only funny to people that know the original joke. And it's, like, existential on top of it, so it doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the only thing I think is funny anymore, so apparently there's just something wrong with me. How am I... Am I really? Excuse me. Thanks. I pride myself on my sexiness. That's why I'm here. To be sexy. What affect the community? Which community? Oh, you mean memes? What's interesting is that, like, these will 100% hit the mainstream. At least most of them will. But they won't for, like, a week. So, and, like, mine probably will get lost in oblivion or whatever. It just, it just depends. Because, like, milk memes were funny for like one day, and I managed to like get a whole bunch of them curated so that I can post them all at once. But like they're like not even funny, but they're funny because the people think they're funny, like they're meta. Because it was literally like what sub, the meme was what sub on subreddit, what would they do regarding a spilled milk or whatever, and like somebody said me IRL will make memes out of it for 6 months. So of course everyone started making memes out of it immediately, but then like it died one day later. And then sometimes they'll do a thing where they're like, we're gonna do these kind of memes this month, and they like make a chart, and like they don't make any sense and they're just random, but people will do it anyway and make memes out of it. One was the devil guy and the other one was corn. So like there have been a bunch of corn memes like immediately starting July 1st because they said there were going to be corn memes even if they don't make any sense. And so now there's like corn memes that are like, this meme is from the future. You didn't understand it before, but here it is. And it's like, okay. But that's like how it works. It's like not only do they make the memes, they go, you know what's going to be popular? This meme. And then they make it popular. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's insane. And then what's really insane is when I see this really meta random shit on Facebook, and like the people who share it don't even know like that the people that made it were just fucking around. Like they weren't even trying to be funny. They were just making it because everyone was sick of seeing it. That's my favorite one, is when it gets shared and it's like a bad meme. Like it wasn't funny and nobody liked it, but it got shared anyway. String theory in bead form. Alright, fuck it, I'll figure it out. Let me get this turned on. See if I can find my cords. I found it. Lie down. Okay. So, doodling? Who said I'm doodling? This is going to be a coloring book page. Alright, so let's get this taped on here like you do. By you, I mean me. So, one thing that's been really bothering me is that, let me turn that light off, get this ready. Is that my sister, she had some KT tape, and I was like, hey, what do you have this for? Do you have an injury? And she's like, oh, she was like, my friend gave me that for binding because I was afraid that, you know, I didn't want to tell you because I was afraid that you would make fun of me. And I was like, I'm not going to make fun of you if you decide to bind. And she's like, well, every time I talk to Mom about stuff like that, she makes fun of me and, you know, says I'm going through a phase or that I'm hanging out with too many transgender people or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I was like, let's say, I told her, I said, let's say that's true. Let's say that even if that was true for some reason, what is it gonna hurt to let you do it anyway? Like, I'm not gonna be mean to her and like you know, give her shit. You know, she's 15. She's finding herself, you know? Like, if it does turn out to be that maybe that's not the case, that she's not happy that way or whatever, that then so be it. And if it does turn out that that is how she feels, then fucking so be it. Like, me shitting on her isn't gonna help her at all, you know, or telling her that she's wrong or whatever. Not that I think she is. I'm just, you know, I just hate that my mom did that to her. And I hate that she's been afraid to talk to me about things because my mom is literally shit on her. Even though my mom is like, that's the thing, my mom is like, thinks that she's like super liberal or what, I don't know, whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with like letting my, you know, sister decide how she wants to present herself and like what, you know, she wants to call herself. Like that's, I feel like that's her right. All right, here we go. Let's zoom in a little. We'll turn this light off. Maybe a little bit. You can see a little bit. Zoom. Right, and it's like I told my mom. I said, when my mom laughed about it, I was like, it's respectful to call people what they want to be called. I was like, I had a nickname when I was in high school, and you called me that. Why do you think that her, because she wants to be called Ace specifically, like, why do you think there's a problem with that? And she was like, well, I don't really think she's asexual. I think she's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who are you to say what she is? Like, you don't get to say that. Only she gets to say that. And whether or not, you know, she's decided that for herself 100%, that's not your place. All right, let's do this. Turn the brightness down, contrast up, so that you can see it when I start working it. It's good for now. But yeah, it just like, it actually, like, it hurts my heart that, like, that happened to her, that my mom just, like, kind of shit on, like, whatever she said. And the fact that she's been treating her like a baby. Like, she simultaneously had my sister on birth control while also, like, treating her like a baby and not teaching her how to cut her meat. Like, shit like that just drives me nuts. All right, I'm going to start the process of fine lining this in parts where I'm pretty sure what I want. There's definitely pencil lines I cannot see here, so yay. All right. Yikes, this pen is a nightmare. Let me get a different one. Like, that's part of being a kid. You know, it's part of growing up, is discovering, like, who you are. And for anybody to be like, no, that's not who you are, is just, like, super fucking shitty. Here. If you go to my whiteboard, which is on right now, there's actually a link to, like, a shit ton of my art. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's better. Right. Not only that, but being afraid to express yourself later on, because, like, somebody shits on something, you know, that makes you happy. Like, Jesus. And, like, let's say, like, worst case scenario, that she was doing it for attention. My mom was neglecting her. Like, she needs that attention. I'm just not, I don't know, it's painful to me. I went through it too, but with my dad in a different way. Oh, son of a bitch. I don't even know. I'll just use my other pen. Let's do, let's see what do we got here. I use a micron, but I'll use the 0.5, my other 0.5, that's better. Agreed. And like that's one of the things that like I'm really worried about with her is that like she doesn't sleep. Like she sleeps all the time. Like she has a hard time. I don't know. She seems like she's super depressed. And I know her anxiety is bad. She said that it's been a lot better since she's been here, but I mean, I don't know because I didn't observe her at my mom's house, so. It's just. And like, we're gonna see my mom today, and honestly, as much as I don't want to see my mom, like, my sister doesn't want to see my mom even more. Even though, like, she misses her. And, like, she kind of wants to see her. I know that, like, it's hard for her to deal with that. Can I see where that goes, please? Oh, I just must have wrapped it around. Okay, whatever, Belinda. Whatever, Belinda. Did you really draw that? Alright, fine. Look at that shitty work right there. That is really bad. You can fix it later, but that's not cool. It's like really bad work. I wanted it to be a little more organic than how I drew it before, which is okay, but a little more wavy, but I can do that when I get my other pen out and do the thick lines. Well, I remember, so when I was younger, I made the decision to live with my dad. And I remember just how, like, traumatizing it was for me to, like, go stay with my dad and have my mom essentially, like, refer to me as a traitor who, you know, left her in a lurch and all this stuff. And, like, I was living with my dad because my mom was neglecting us. Like, she gets in these situations where she gets in these bad relationships with these guys and she only cares about her boyfriend and, like, just all sorts of shit happens. so I don't know. It's just, gotta fix that. I'll fix that in post, I guess. Having all kinds of problems today. I really can't see those pencil lines I drew on there. I should have gone back over all of them and not just some of them. Alright, let's see here. At least I can see these lines. Okay, so this is part of that, but also part of... And that goes there. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want her to go through what I went through, basically. And I mean, she's already been through a lot of shit. But I don't want her to have to go through, you know, all that shit for no reason. I haven't decided if I want to connect something to this yet, so I'm going to leave that for now. It's too bad you finally went downtown like right after Brian wasn't down there anymore. So I'm super glad your job is working out though. I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's the other thing too. We're getting ready to take a trip, and my mom keeps like guilt tripping me because I'm taking my sister to Florida, and like she doesn't understand that I essentially have to take her or I'm going to lose that time. I was like, yeah, I would actually prefer not to go on a trip right now, but the timing just ended up having to be now because otherwise I'd lose that. I don't know. But then she told my brother's girlfriend that I go on trips all the time, and I'm like, I actually don't go on trips all the time. If I do go on a trip, it's because it's paid for or it's a tax write-off. Like, all of the, like, the only actual trip that I go on is doing the murder mystery. And the murder mystery is by far my cheapest trip. Everything else is either work-related or it gets reimbursed because I work at conventions. And so, like, having people be like, oh, well, if you go to Florida all the time for Disneyland, I hate Disney, first off. Like, that's, like, the last place I want to go. Yeah. And so, like, when I told her that, she's like, oh, well, your mom made it sound like you go on trips all the time. And I'm like, I mean, yes, we travel a lot, but that doesn't mean we spend a lot of money on it. I mean, we literally volunteer at conventions where they pay us for our travel. Alright, I'll do the details on these in a bit. I haven't decided 100% if I want it like I had it. What am I doing? I'm drawing. What are you doing? All right. Wow, that's really loose. But like explaining that to somebody who, you know, has never been financially stable and doesn't like understand that concept of like when I'm at a convention, I'm working. Like, in fact, I'm not just working, I'm working and I don't get time off and I'm still doing my job. And I explained that to her. I was like, I don't think you understand, like, this isn't a vacation for me. I didn't even get to see the convention this year. Like, I was so busy working. Like, I was working, like, you know, sometimes I was working a 9-hour shift in the room, and then coming home, you know, coming back to my room and then working at my regular job. And it's like you don't get it. It's down, or it just went down. It'll come back, I think. If not, I don't really care. I'm gonna probably be done in a minute anyway. Thank you for telling me, though. Heroes always come back? What heroes? But yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's hard to explain something like that to people that like haven't ever been financially secure, and like I wasn't for a long time. Like I get it. But like I'm not spending money on it. Like I'm working. Yeah, and like a lot of people can get that same gig, you know. You get into a position where you're trusted, you know, by a convention. Like we don't just work one convention for these people. We work, you know, we work 4 of them. Well, 3 of them right now, but there will be 4. And it's like there's a reason that, you know, they trust us, because we work our butts off and we don't just go there to fuck around. And like that's, you know, we don't treat it as a vacation. So it's not even, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Yeah, I just wanted my sister to be like able to have just control, you know, her own choices. Like I told her about the HPV shot, like I mentioned it, and she was like, should I take it? Because like we were at Planned Parenthood. And I was like, don't ask me. I was like, I'm going to tell you like what I think, but I'm not going to like tell you what to do. And like she's so used to my mom, like, you know, fear-mongering her about everything, that she like was surprised that like I was like, you can do what you want, like it's your body, like you don't want to take it, don't take it, but I'm telling you it's probably a good idea to take it. And I was like, you know, ask the Planned Parenthood people what they think, you know. Obviously they think it's a good idea, but it doesn't have to be my decision, it's your decision. And I just feel bad that like she hasn't had that. And my mom is like turned into like full-blown conspiracy theorist, flat earther lately. Can I fix this, please? Thank you. Like, so that's more problematic, because she's not only is she adhering to like other people's conspiracy theories lately, because her like delusion has gotten really bad, but she's coming up with her own out of like nowhere, where she's just like making up shit to be scared about. And it's like if you know what Dunning-Kruger is, it's like that. Like, she's like in that zone where like I can't even tell her anything, because she just thinks you know, she knows. And like the information that she's getting, like her sources are just so bad. She's never been like a super great with science, so. Is the purple feed still down? If it is, it's live. I just wondered. I figured it was probably just for the same amount of time or whatever, but I just wanted to ask. It always cracks me up because I actually can draw straight lines sometimes. It's just I like them wavy, so I end up doing it automatically. So that's why I usually end up using a straight edge, because I prefer to like draw my lines wavy so my hands do it. Like I'll start to just do it. Yeah, you've mentioned that before. That happens to a lot of people, I think. Happened to me too. The big thing that gets me is that my mom like thinks she's like so, you know, woke, to use the term, but like the stuff that she's like halfway in between like really understanding and being like understanding of things and like being like super shut off to things. Like in the same vein that she's like fine if my sister has like a transgender girlfriend, like she's still also pissed that like my sister is non-binary. Like she thinks like as long as it doesn't affect her daughter, like that's how she feels about it. And that is like, it's like contradictory, because it's like, oh, she acts like she's fine with things on the outside, kind of like, you know, when I dated an Asian guy before and she like acted like she was fine with it, but then she would like say shit behind my back, you know. I can't really trust her, and that's a problem, because like I'm trying to trust her right now to like do the right thing about stuff, but like she's already got 2 of the animals back. She's been buying stuff for the new house. She's been smoking again, which she had finally quit. Like it sucks because like she has really bad emphysema. Yeah, I mean the indoctrination stuff has happened like to me multiple times now too, so I get it. Like my mom became a Mormon, so, and she was also a Jehovah's Witness, so I definitely have been there multiple times. Unfortunately, we are pack animals, generally speaking, and you know, people just, they want to be a part of a group, and the most accepting groups are the ones that can get you to conform quickly. Because they don't really have to accept you, but, you know, they make you feel like you're accepted. Partially. I remember the stuff with my mom with the Jehovah's Witnesses. She couldn't hang with them because she couldn't quit smoking, and she ended up quitting because of that. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta pee. Get back. Watch your eyes. I'm gonna switch it over to our slideshow. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. What do I want to do here? Wonder if I want to like do another drawing on top of this and like change it. I have so many ideas for this that I'm having a hard time with coherency. Oh man, it's so hot in here compared to the rest of the house. Whew. Let's just leave that part for now. I am happy that my sister's gonna get to go on a trip though. See, like that's the thing. Like as much as it's not my favorite thing in the world to go to Disney, like I want her to have that in her life. If that's what she wants to do. I'm like the most anti-Disney person ever, I swear. I'm not anti-Disney, I'm just not into it. It's like those kids that like grew up going to Toys R Us. Like I never had that because it was fucking expensive. So it's like the same thing for me. I didn't grow up going to Disney. I didn't even grow up in the States. Like for part of my, like the time that Disney would have been like super important to me. Like the most important one would have been Little Mermaid. And that's only because it came out after I was actually in the States. Oh, it's not even, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I just don't have any, it's not my thing. I like animation, I just don't care about Disney, I guess. Oh, I forgot to put the things on. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. They can be big. I had put little, like, shadow marks. Honestly, like we went on, I have a picture of me. Look how skinny I am. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Of me and Brian on the teacups or something. I had lost so much weight and I was like so pale. I was having such a bad time and then I ended up sick like the next day. I think this was Disney. I don't even remember. I don't even look like myself in that picture. Like my face is so gaunt. Yeah, like it like barely looks like me. I like having a weight on my face. So, let's see. Do I want to change this? Just like do something different, a little bit different? I have another one of these. Yeah, back here. I might have a thing on it. I haven't decided yet. These little rings. SPF 1000. So yeah, that's the other thing. I actually have a little bit of a tan right now because I've been taking my sister swimming. I've been trying to teach her how to swim. Let me click this there. One second. So the other thing, when we were going through my sister's stuff the other day, I don't know if I told you guys like how my mom hadn't taught her how to like cut her meat or wash her hair. well, she also apparently packed a sippy cup for my sister. Keep in mind, my sister is like 15. She's, I don't know, I just, like, and the stuff that she brought, yeah, like, I don't know if she was doing it, I don't know. I don't know, I just, and all, like, she packed so much stuff for her, like, it was so much clothes. Making my eyes dry. Let's give it a try. I kind of want to like turn my other streams off and just do Camu right now so that I can play music I want to hear. I want to hear some like M83 because I'm feeling like really fucking solipsistic right now. Let's give it a try. Keep them dreaming out loud tonight. Hello, the one and them. Well, it's not like anybody's watching me there. They don't watch me there unless I show my face anyway. Do it again. Even though I can do that, like I have a face, it still works. It's still part of my head, as far as I know. All right, I'll switch it up. I have to turn it off from Restream though.